just drifting, like these sticks. Most of us just cruising, not really sure where we're going. But I learnt to take charge. You do have a choice. I learnt to set goals, and it dramatically changed all areas of my life. It's like setting off on a trip without a map. Simply knowing where you're heading empowers you. Years ago, I had a dream that I wanted to own my own business. I got a bakery with a wood-fired oven. I worked like a dog. I didn't have a clue, but I learnt. I learnt to ask for help. I started to read books. I learnt to invest in myself. I've learnt heaps, but the most important thing I've learnt is to set goals. Here we are in Beechworth, a population a bit over 3,000 people, and we are credited with having the highest sales for any standalone retail bakery in Australia. Totally cash, 3.2 million cash over the counter in this shop. We've taken up to $35,000 cash over the counter in one day, all due to goal setting. Today we're in Albury, we're in Echuca, we're in Bendigo, and we're still growing. You too can learn to set goals. Achieve whatever you want. You just have to dare to dream. I've got some of my favourite books here. I must admit, I have many, many favourite books. But these are some of the books that I've read and reread and reread. Did a big mistake in the early days. I used to lend my favourite books. That's the end. And I'd have all notes. And today I write over. I don't lend my books today. I'd prefer to buy somebody a book and let them have it, because I write and scribble, underline. Look at this. Feel the fear and do it anyway. How to turn your fear and indecision into Susan Jeffries. She's wrote a couple of books, but this is a gem. I used to suffer so much fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of people, fear of speaking in front of anybody. This book, I picked it up, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. And it's still out there, still for sale today. Years today. This book, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Look at this one. Keith Blanchard wrote many books, the 1 Minute Manager series. Now, the 1 Minute Manager is a famous classic, but this is the book that I loved out of all his books. The 1 Minute Manager meets a monkey. Free up your time and deal with priorities. Don't take on other problems that aren't yours. You know, if you're a manager, even at home as a parent, the kids come home, or the husband or the partner, and lays all these monkeys on your back, and you take on all the kids' problems and you're doing their own. Even at work, you know, as a manager or a supervisor, Harry, Mary comes up and I say, look, I've got this, and you take this monkey on. This book, so simple, look how little this is. Probably not even $20. Not even, but most people are not prepared to invest $20. This 1 Minute Manager meets a monkey. Absolutely brilliant. If you're taking on anybody else's worries and manage monkeys, this will help you put all these monkeys in a cage and give them back. Absolutely brilliant. Look at this book, Nuts. It's Southwest Airlines, crazy recipes for business and personal success. You know, Southwest wacky, you know, Kevin Freebergen. Look, this is a new book, because I lent my classic that I'd put in so many notes, I'd lent it. This is about marketing. This is how Southwest Airline stayed profitable when most airlines didn't. Tell you what, it is absolutely, it's just credible. Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, look at this, Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy. This great book can be your key to success and happiness if you will only follow its powerful principles. You know, strategies and skill that will unlock your hidden. He's wrote many, many books. But this is the one that I love. He's wrote Eat That Frog, Goals, and many, many books, Brian Tracy. This one, and again, I lent my original, which I'd had so many notes. But this one, you know, it tells you about the constructive, how negative habits become your behaviour. You know, they become comfort zones. It talks about, you know, what you repeat, it becomes your life, and you can never rise any higher than your expectations. You've got to have that belief in yourself. It tells you about doing something for 21 times, and then it becomes a habit, and it becomes, so how to break and how to put positive habits in your life and how to break bad habits. This is maximum achievement. Now, look, if you want to, I could say if you want to read one book, this is it. But then again, feel the fear and do it anyway. One book. Well, maybe two books. The Magic of Thinking Big. Now, this is a classic. I don't know when it was first wrote, many years ago. Oh, probably, I don't know. 1959. It is so relevant today. I just bought a copy of this yesterday for my young son who's 15. My other kids all have a copy. I remember years ago, my daughter who's now 27, I offered her, she was only a teenager, $500 if she would read this book and give me 2 written pages on notes how she would implement some of this into her life. The magic of, acquire the secrets of success. Achieve everything you've always wanted. The Magic of Thinking Big. Invaluable. Just a brilliant book. It, put service first. It's about, it's about how, it's about how to make money, because and not because churches need money, charities need money. So, but I tell you, it's not only about money. It's about, it's about big people, little people. How can I do more in my life? It's about living. Is it really important? This book will make you ask yourself: is it important? What? And this also talks about fear. What kind of action can I take to conquer my fear? Action cures fear, and this is about it too. It's better to wear out than to rust out. Life is yours to enjoy. The Magic of Thinking Big. Look at this. Bob Proctor, You Were Born Rich. This is a bit of a wacky book in some ways. Now you can discover and develop those riches. You were born rich. I believe if you were born in Australia, you're born rich. We're all born with, most of us, with 2 legs, 2 arms, this neck-top computer, but we don't want to use it. This book talks about vibrations, how what you think about expands. If you're thinking negative, the other people pick it up. It's about what you think about expands. And this book is just brilliant. If you're thinking doom and gloom and negative, that's what you're going to get. I'm so happy. I can now see myself with money. That's all. This book, this isn't one of my original. I lost it too. I have bought many copies of this book and give it out to them. Some people, it's a bit scary because they don't want to take control of their life. These books can help you take control of your life. So it's pretty challenging because it makes you responsible. The thing is to read them again and again. And I don't read, some of my classics I read many times. And I'd love to, I start looking at this and oh boy, I could read this again. Most of us think, oh, that's impossible. This shows you how to understand the truth, how it's not that hard. It's not, you seek out professional assistance. Most of us don't. We don't want to look silly and ask for help. And just brilliant, that book. Chicken Soup for the Soul. I have read many chicken soups. Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen, they've wrote many books. Now these were just guys that were just in there doing it, battling away. They made a decision. They changed their life, and changed. They've changed many, many other people's lives. This book, that's their 10th anniversary special edition. I've read many. This is my favourite. This is just lots about goal setting, which I love. And yeah, it tells you about being a worthwhile person. It tells you about eliminate all the little things that annoy you. You know, don't live your life with the little annoyances. Get them out. It's about turning your dreams into goals and objectives. It's about finding your wings. Happiness depends upon ourselves. It's all this great stuff. Terrific. Never give up. The power of determination. Ask for feedback. Ask yourself for feedback. Give yourself some feedback. Respond to feedback. Don't wait. Get started today. Invest $20, $25. I just bought a book yesterday, $49. $49. You can read it again and again. Think and Grow Rich. I think this book, it's still out there, classic. I think it was printed in 1937 or something like that, a long time. 1966, 1937. Yeah, 1937. How about that? Think and Grow Rich. Oh, I don't want to go rich. Rich is, it's your take on being rich. Auto suggestions. It's what you put in there is what you're going to get out. If you're going to put all rubbish and garbage in here, that's what you're going to get out. And this, for amazing results, get the deepest part of it, go to work. And this book is just absolutely, it's about repetition of thought, repetition of positive affirmations. It's repetition. It's what you think about. Think and Grow Rich. What you think about expands. This book is still out there on the bookshops today, still a classic, still a bestseller. I have read this, and after looking at it, I want to read it again. I want to think and grow rich. And rich in all areas of my life, in my love of my kids, and my love of my grandkids, my love of life, my passion. This book, it is just brilliant. There's no such thing as bad luck. And this book will tell you about that. It's all right for him. It's all right for him. Points to pin down. This book, it's all here. It's all here. Oh, look at this one. I picked this one up in Thailand. Winning Every Day. Lou Holtz, The Game Plan for Success. Coach Holtz has written an inspiring. This guy shares with us the gems of his experience. This book. Oh, look at this. Every page is nearly folded over. Just absolutely about passion. It's about belief. It's customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is their primary objective. It's about management never makes a decision without first considering its customer. 90% of people you meet don't care about your troubles. The other 10% are glad you have them. They don't care. This book tells you about taking power of yourself. I tell you what, I find we get out of life exactly what we expect of it. We get what we expect. If you expect doom and gloom, that's what you're going to get. These books tell it. They're just, passion. Wonderful. Look at this, Pour Your Heart in It. A new book, fairly new. How Starbucks Built a Company, One Cup at a Time, Howard Schultz. This book, if you want to build a company, I give it to my managers and I said, look, got to write this book. I found it hard to find because people were just buying it. It's about their mission statement, how they grew Starbucks all over the world. If you want to grow a company, and it's about life and living too. It's about marriage and life and that, but it's about the learning. It's mainly about business, this one, and it is. It's about losing money, and it's about investing money. It's about investing in people. It's about that passion. It's about that passion for your, and it's about that commitment for your dream and your business, your goal. It's all about passion, a passion for coffee. It's about his team. It's about the strategy. It's lots of strategy. It's about having proud people working for his company. It's about brand. It's about brand. I tell you what, you want to build a fantastic brand? Oh, pour your heart into it. Starbucks. Oh, look at this one. Crowning the Customer. How to Become Customer Driven. Fergal Quinn. The best-selling and highly acclaimed business book. It's a jewel. My cousin sent me this from Ireland. I tell you what, you want to be customer driven? Fergal Quinn, what a name. The first temptation is to run the operation to suit yourself, not the customer. This guy's saying, run the business for your customer. And that's it, we can get tied up. We can get tied up with all the statistics and all that stuff. This tells you, put the customer first, put the customer. Oh, and it's all about teamwork. This book here, it's all about retail. It's about getting that repeat customer, repeat business. It is a simple book. I loved it. We're coming back again and again. It's about, centered on that one overriding aim to get them back and get them back. Oh, getting people to come back again and again. If you want them to come back and again, oh, customer driven. I tell you, one. I could go on and on and on. I have many favourite books, and they're so good. I read them again. It's that repetition, and then put it into action. All the books and that, and all the knowledge. If you don't put it into action, look at this. This is one of my. It's a bit of bit of a Bible. I carry this one. This is not the original copy again. I don't know how long ago this was written. Quite a few years ago. Norman Vincent Peale. He's the author of The Powers of Positive Thinking. I would have at least 10 or more of his books. This one's on positive imaging. You can still buy it. It's like visualization, just like the Olympics do. All these Olympians, the power of visualization, the positive way to change your life. The master's method for fighting disease, overcoming worriness and loneliness, saving a marriage and more. Now I found this book, this has to be one of my favourite books. It says here, if you crawl through life on your hands and knees, instead of standing tall and proud. This is about standing tall and proud. Be careful what you pray for, because it'll be, this book, it's just got so much, if you image something long enough and hard enough, you will get it. If you visualize something long enough, and it's about the believers pick up the prizes. And this book is all about belief. And look, I have recommended this book to so many people. It's about being loving and honest and caring. It's about doing the little things, like holding a door open, saying thank you. It's about positive imaging of where do you want to be in life. This I carry. Sometimes it's my security blanket. It's about worrying. I used to be the world's greatest worrier. Well, I realised what a big waste of time. Worrying doesn't change a thing, I believe. It's about I believe. I can do it. Positive imaging. Put yourself there. Look, I could go on and on. I have many books. Invest a few dollars in yourself. Read a book. Go to the library if you're too lousy. Go to the library. But you've got to go back and back, or keep it for a month. Read it again. It's that repetition. It's all there. There's nothing new. It's all written here. It is, look, these are my favourite. These are some of probably my favourite books. I have some others, Pour Your Heart Into It, Richard Semler, Power to Choose, Tom Peters, The Pursuit of the Aladdin Packer, Norman Vincent Peale, You Can If You Think You Can. I could go on and on and on. The books, wow. The wow factor. I have it here somewhere. Oh boy, I have so many. Mary Kay, the Nordstrom. I could go on and on. Great books. Talk about goal setting. A few years ago now, my daughter was 15, come home from school, all excited. She said, "Dad, can you take me to Wangaratta tomorrow night?" And what for? And she said, "Oh, there was a lady at school there today talking about being an exchange student." She said, "Dad, my goal, I've always had this goal that I wanted to live in another country." And I said, talk about, all right, I'll take her. And anyway, she comes home from school the next day, grunts at me like a young 15-year-old do. And later on, we're having dinner. And I said to Sharon, "What time do we got to go to Wangaratta?" She said, "Dad, I don't think I'll go." I said, "Why not?" She said, "Oh, my friends today at school were pointing out how I'm going to be a year behind them. They're going to be in uni. I'm still going to be in high school. How I'm not going to know the language. How I'm going to have..." I said, "Sharon," I said, "they're dream takers." She said, "No, they're not." She said, "They're my friends." I said, "Sharon, they're dream takers. You told me your dream, your goal was to go and live in another country." Anyway, we ended up going down to Wangaratta. We heard this lady speak and a couple other exchange students told their story, and Sharon got all excited and she signed up to be an exchange student. And about 6 weeks later, I met her. I'd come on up the drive. "Oh, Dad," and all excited. She said, I'm going. I said, "Where are you going?" She said, "I'm going to Bolivia." I said, "Where's Bolivia?" She said, "I don't know." So we had to look. It was in South America. She only put down South America instead of what country. But anyway, she ended up going to Bolivia. She turned 17 in Bolivia, and she had a great time. And she come home, and the night she come home, we had a big family do, and all the friends and that, and she come back a young woman, and she said to me, "Dad, I need to talk to you." And I thought, oh God, she's pregnant, oh God. Anyway, we went out on the veranda, and she said to me, "Dad, I want to go back." I said, "Sharon, that's okay, but you're paying your own way." She said, "How can I pay my own way? I've got 2 years of school to do." She said, I said, "Sharon, write down your goals. Write down how much money you want, when you want to go, who, what, when, how, what you want to see." And anyway, this 17-year-old daughter listened to me. She wrote down her goals, how much money she wanted, when she wanted, 27th of January, I forget what year, when she wanted to go. She wrote all this down. But over these 2 years of school, things happened and she'd lose the focus on her goals. Her mates were going to school every week, or mates were buying cars or buying stereos, and she'd start to lose that passion for that goal. And I couldn't tell my 18-year-old daughter at that time, "Oh, your goal was to go to South America," because she'd only get it back up. And so what I'd do, I'd wait till I could see she was losing. And I'd have articles that I'd cut out of magazines and paper and pictures on South America, and I'd stick them in the toilet. And she never ever said, "Gee, that was a great article." But it'd fire her up again. I could see this, and she was back on track, And over the years, there was lots. Over the 2 years, there was dream takers who tried to take her dream away about, she's going to be behind them in uni and all that. But anyway, she ended up going. 27th of January, 3 days before my birthday. Anyway, she ended up, and I think she was $1,000 on her goal, but she'd put a big goal, how much dollars she was going to have a good time. But she ended up going back to Bolivia, back to South America, went to the Inca ruins and did all these things, went all these countries. And anyway, she had bought a year ticket, and but she cashed it in, and she was going to stay. And I thought, oh boy. So she ended up staying over, and she went and worked in London, and stayed over there for 2.5 years. But after this year away, she told me that she wasn't coming back for a while. And I was in a bedroom and I shut the door, and not knowing, and behind the door was all them articles that I'd put in that toilet over that 2 years, and her goals were written up on the back of that door. How much money, when she's going, what she wanted to see, how, and all this, and it was there. And I looked at her and it gave me goosebumps because she'd achieved. She'd been to the Inca's room, she'd been there, she'd been to Russia, she'd been to Scotland, she'd been to this and been to the Tower of London, she'd been to Paraguay and Iguazu Falls. All them goals that she'd set. And I knew all the letters and the postcards. And she'd, that goal setting, talk about goal setting, how powerful for this young girl. Talk about power. Now she's very happily married with 2 kids and another one on the way. Talk about goal setting. Wow, it is powerful.
He's a motivational speaker with a unique style, but he's also an extraordinary businessman. Once described as John Cleese on speed, Tom O'Toole has turned a derelict cafe in country Victoria into the most successful retail bakery in Australia. From losses to profits, contemplating suicide to loving life, O'Toole certainly has the gift of the gab.
It's all about attitude. And action, and action, and action, like ready, aim, ready, aim, ready, aim, bullshit, ready, aim.
This is Tom O'Toole in action.
Fire, ready, aim, fire. Not ready, aim, ready, aim, ready. All the knowledge in the world, not with a pinch of cow shit, unless you're willing to get her off your arse and have a go.
A self-confessed spitter and swearer, it's exhausting, and that's for the audience.
Don't expect anyone else's mother to buy it then.
But is this the real Tom O'Toole?
I don't know. What's sane? What's sane? What's normal? I got a photo of the washing machine. That's the only place you'll find normal wash. That's the only place you'll find normal. What's normal? What's sane? Giving ourselves room to grow.
Sane or not, O'Toole earns $6,000 a talk on the public speaking circuit. He's written 2 books and produced 2 motivational DVDs.
I do in excess of 100 paid talks a year.
Who comes to listen to you? Who's the audience?
Business, corporate. I talked to Investico last week, 23 people. I will talk for BP. I will talk to top executives. Well, last week I talked to 700 council workers.
You talk to everyone?
Everyone, because the fundamentals, what I talk about, don't change. I talk about life and living. I talk about getting out of your comfort zone. I talk about doing that little bit extra.
Tom O'Toole comes from here, the town of Beechworth in northern Victoria. Until recently, Beechworth was best known for this fellow, Ned Kelly. He was tried here first before being sent to Melbourne. But like so many other country towns, Beechworth is on the road to nowhere and was dying a slow death. Until Tom O'Toole came along. He built his bakery, pulled the crowds, and now is credited with turning Beechworth around. O'Toole bought the bakery business 20 years ago. It's gone from 2 staff turning over $100,000 a year to 160 staff turning over $10 million, with a profit of around 20% of that. One shop is now 4, and the Beechworth bakery is starting to franchise into other country towns. All this from someone who left school at 14 and still can't read a spreadsheet.
Look, they get me along because they think if this bugger can make it in business, anyone can. No, they get me because I'm in business. I have a front door. I have a real business, but my business is far from perfect. And I tell people this, my business is far from... They don't believe me. I tell them nothing I say is original.
Nothing's original. Your business is far from perfect. Why do people pay $6,000 to hear you speak?
6,000 plus. Because they're inspired by me, because they think, here's a guy who's never learned an alphabet, he's a kindergarten dropout, he failed kindergarten, and he can do it, and he's passionate, and it's my passion, it's my enthusiasm.
It's an enthusiasm which has reached into the very top of Australia's corporate world.
Immediately impressed. You can't help but be impressed by him the minute you meet him, by his enthusiasm and just his energy.
Peter Ritchie is the former boss of McDonald's and current Channel 7 director.
At the base, he's a top-class businessman. I mean, he really knows what makes that business work. He's identified the fundamentals and he's kept it simple.
It's looked on right across Australia as the town that's really turned the corner.
O'Toole's success is also Beechworth's success. Local Mayor Bill Hodson has no doubt why his town has survived.
He was the catalyst. He was the reason that we decided to get into tourism.
The bank was here. They said, Tom, we're going. It's dying. This town's had it. It's had it. And my accountant said, Tom, you're bloody mad. You're over-capitalising a town that's dying. Today they all think I'm a guru, you know. We get a lot of credit.
What O'Toole does is not rocket science. Besides his passion, his success comes from keeping it simple.
I believe business is so simple, most of us miss it. You know, we get so tied up in spreadsheets and flow charts and all this, you know, and all the customer wants is, look at me, greet me, talk to me, thank me, thank me. So bloody simple we miss it.
Tom O'Toole wasn't always so confident. Even now, before every speech, he's a pack of nerves.
Oh, God, always, I think, I'm always scared they're gonna look at me, but they're gonna find out I'm a fraud.
O'Toole plays down his success and his abilities, but from a poor family, he's come a long way, professionally and personally. When his first wife left him, he was suicidal.
You know, I felt the pain, I wanted to die. Tell you what, if you've ever stuck a loaded gun in your mouth, they're very cold and oily. We do need more trees.
Christine O'Toole is Tom's second wife.
If he can't figure out numbers, how has he built such a massive business?
Because he's always surrounded himself with people that have been able to help him. I mean, he's had the business ideas and he's just employed the people that have been able to put a lot of the things into action.
Because he's no dummy.
No, not at all. Not a dummy at all.
One of the hardest things I've ever had to do in small business is to learn to let go and let God, let go and let these buggers have a go. You know, I'm just there for me good looks today. I'm the cardboard cutout figure.
At 53, Tom O'Toole has sold 75% of his business.
Oh, why did I sell? I set a goal that I wanted to grow my business. Now, I have enough skills to get it to this level. I have not got the skills to take it to the next level. And also, as you get older, you're not as hungry. You know, these guys are young and hungry and ambitious. And I remember when I was young and hungry, and I didn't want some grey-haired old bugger in my way. So I just keep out of their way.
Find out what he does.
Same signage you'll do in Echuca.
O'Toole sold to Simon Bedbrook and Marty Matasoni. Together, they plan to take the Beechworth Bakery national.
But how many Beechworth bakeries can Australia handle?
Lots. Yeah.
What's lots?
300.
That's
300.
maximum?
Yep, we think we can do that over a 10-year period. We're sort of gearing up to do that at the moment and start growing, but it's just slow growth and but that's where we want to get to.
And a bit of Tom O'Toole in every one of them?
Lots of Tom O'Toole in every one of them.
If anyone wants 20% discount, I want to cut out 20% of the ingredients.
O'Toole is a man with a message, but a very unusual way of delivering it. However you respond, you can't walk away unaffected.
Believe your dreams, like get out there, don't let people stop you.
So he motivates you?
Yeah, he makes me feel better. Yeah. I own business myself. Everything he said today really makes a lot of sense, so you're going to take it back and use a lot of that in my own business.
You've often shared a podium with Tom O'Toole. Do you find it sometimes a bit off-putting, this manic nature?
Oh, well, I mean, it's terribly embarrassing almost because I'm just a businessman. I just get up there and try to relate my, business experience. And I apologise for myself in advance so often because of being compared with him, it's embarrassing.
But he's at the deep end.
Absolutely, yeah. The crazy end, you might say. It's not an insult to Tom. He wouldn't mind me saying that.
But a crazy good?
Absolutely crazy good. You've got to smile like you are and I am now.
Love him or hate him, you certainly can't ignore Tom O'Toole. That's Business Sunday for today. Sunday is next with soccer in Australia. I'm Ali Moore. See you next week.